Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Depends on when you're watching this. I just want to give you guys a introductory video for CRC-125 Microsoft Office. And what we're going to do today is just go over the basics on how to get into the course and go over the course content basics as well as where to find things for the course. So here we go. So with CRC-125, this is a 5-week accelerated course. Keep that in mind, so you'll spend roughly 3 times the effort each week compared to a full semester course. Full semester course seen right there. So weekly you're going to go into course content over here in Blackboard, and you're going to do that week's course content. In addition, you will be going into announcements eventually to check out what new course announcements there are, as well as to go into the discussion board to see questions posed by other students, respond to them if you wish, or put your own questions in there for other students to respond to. I will occasionally be checking in this area. And if we go click on discussion board, for example, we will see that there's a topic called Office Talk. So if we go into Office Talk, I have a new thread created called Welcome to Office Talk. And you will be able to create your own threads as well and ask your own questions. So that's an important thing to think about. That's right under discussion board. If you want to see your grades for the semester, you can go over course grades, and you'll see all the different items that are graded for the course. Things to look at overall for the whole course for the 5 weeks that there are. There are the capstone average for all the capstone stuff, the SAMS exam averages, the textbook chapter project averages, as well as SAM training average. You'll see if we go under course information, there's going to be a course information sheet for the semester, as well as a course schedule for what you have to do for that entire 5-week period. Like I said, it's a 5-week period as opposed to a 15-week period, so you're doing a lot more work. So just keep that in mind. Plan accordingly for your work schedule. So, if we look at the course schedule that's here for the 5 weeks, you'll see that in the first week we're doing majority of Word work, and in the second week we're doing some Excel. Third week we're doing a little bit of Excel and Access, Microsoft Access database stuff. As well as in the fourth week, we're doing Access and Microsoft PowerPoint for presentation work. And we're just finishing up in week 5 with PowerPoint and your final presentation. This presentation isn't in person, obviously, and you'll be sending stuff in via a submission to Blackboard. Everything you're doing is within Blackboard, although we link out to something called MindTap. And this is an external site that you're going to visiting, and you will be doing work there, which is then transferred back into Blackboard. So with that said, if we look at the course information sheet for this summer, the thing you have to buy is the textbook. It's really an ebook with lab access to this thing called MindTap. And that's what you're going to be working mostly through. We'll do stuff with SAM exercises that Cengage owns, as well as different MindTap exercises. And you get a 1-term access to it, which is 6 months. And with that, you are going to be able to rent a book if you want to. You don't really necessarily need to, but just giving you an option there if you want to. It's only like $7.99 from the Cengage site. So this is something that you might want to do if you're more of a paper person. That's an option for you. But here's what I do. I don't necessarily need the book. So what I do is I split up my screen accordingly. So if we get out of course information sheet and go to our course content area, this is where you're working out of every week. And as you'll see, you have a week 1 content, week 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the first week, obviously, we're doing week 1 content, so we'll enter that area. And you just work your way through the exercises, plain and simple. If you go into Word Module 1, for example, I'm going to go into Word Module 1, creating, formatting, and editing a Word document with a picture. So if I click on that, you'll see we get into the exercise itself, and it's going to give us how to do the exercise. But it's absorbing the whole screen. How are we going to do the exercise if it's just going to give us the directions? So what I want to do is I want to minimize or just reduce the screen real estate this uses. And this is how I do it. So I just, minimize things or just reduce the size like that. And I want to open up also a document. It gives you instructions on how to do that. But I already have something at my advantage here.
I can learn to understand you much better if I can get familiar with the way you talk.
I will open up Word, Microsoft Word. We're using Microsoft Word 2016. We're not using Office 365, so keep that in mind. So you'll want to buy that. But there's also ways to get that at a discount from the MCC website. I'll try to give more info later about that. So let's say I open up the exercise for this particular document. So I'm going to reduce the size here and see what I'm doing here. I'm actually splitting up the screen, and I'm going to effectively make it 50-50-ish. There we go. So it's going to ask you to do specific tasks. And all you have to do is read through the exercise, follow through the steps, and perform those tasks on the left side of the screen. So when it tells you to highlight specific text and italicize it or bold it, that's all you have to do. So you basically just navigate through the different tasks and go through the exercise like so. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of background on how to approach it. One thing I want to note is when you're getting into these exercises from Blackboard, let me go back to Blackboard here. It may ask you in week 1 or 2 to input your access code that you bought from the bookstore. So either week 1 or week 2, it's going to ask you to do that and register, because that's what they want, proof that you purchased the product, and from there you will be able to get into the product and do the exercises. So let me know if you have any questions. You can always email your professor, and you can also go into discussion board to post questions to students as well as myself. But if you want a more immediate answer, always send me an email. So hopefully that gives you some input on how to start off the course. If you have any questions, let me know. Have a great night.